Welcome to the iSelfReflect podcast, where together we'll work to achieve self-love, self-growth, and self-reflection.
I want you to be your own guru. I want you to realize how powerful you really are, because I believe what we say to ourselves is of great importance, and our mind is our greatest asset.
Now, here's your host, Laureano Mercado.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Welcome to Chapter 2 of the iSelfReflect podcast, and also the new chapter in your book. Listen, I'm not sure, but I can't be the only one that feels like this lately. Like there's just something in the air. Just some shit that just feels different. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. But first and foremost, I want to say thank you all for tuning in and listening to today's episode. I love you and I greatly appreciate you and value your time. And with that, let's get started. So chapter 2, what the fuck is that? I'm talking about whatever shit is hypothetically in the air that you can just feel this kind of change. Or if you live in Southern Oregon like myself, it could just be the smoke from all the fires that's down here. But trust me, this is something else. I believe we've all hit this wall from being quarantined and dealing with COVID that consciously, I believe we have felt this something else. Hence, me calling it Chapter 2. Do you feel it now? It's like this new growth, this new opportunity, this new perspective that has just smacked us in the face. This weird tilt of balance in life that is just teeter-tottering around and has tipped to the side of, quote, churning the page. So most of you have noticed that I've been gone for a few months, and I'd like to tell you about my perspective from the last few months that actually has led me to the here and the now. And I'm sure most of you will be able to resonate, and I would love to hear your perspectives about it and also see your comments about this below. So my undertakings with quarantine/COVID the past several months has been an interesting one. And as some of you who don't know me personally, I never say good or bad. To me, everything is just interesting, right in the sweet spot, the perspective spot. To me, it's all relative, how you see good or bad. And that's why I just call it, it's all interesting. You know, you're dancing with life nonetheless. So I just have fun with it and say, I'm keeping it interesting. So my self-reflective state during those months that I was gone, which was about 5 months, was an interesting one. You know, I live by myself. I have no pets. I have no girlfriend and really no close friends around me in my general area to kind of really mind jam with. But this next part is probably not what you expect me to say. I actually loved it. And honestly, I believe it stems from being greatly okay with myself and enjoying myself to the fullest. In this world we live in, I imagine myself being my own scientist in my own world, who's just out to figure out all of this craziness is about. You know, this whole beautiful chaos in this world, right? It's not so much crazy thought. You know, your mind has a problem and it's ready to whisper this to you. And it's just our duty to figure out all the in-between linings, the thin linings, I'd say. Well, Laureano, you can't figure it out. Why even try to figure out what this is all about? You might be thinking that. Or why don't you fill in your own blank about your own perspective about hearing me say that? Then kindly just have a Coke and a smile and, as the late Richard Pryor would say, shut the fuck up. Honestly, it's truly all love, but you get the point. So my scientist mind loves hitting the red button in life and with myself, like doing tests, making hypotheses about who I am and what can I do and how can I do it. The whole world is just one big experiment for ourselves. And I believe as human beings, we all do it to some certain extent. But I love being immersed within this, quote, scientist mindset. So with quarantine, I literally went on a mental and physical vacation. I basked in this fruitness of just being with myself, being okay doing whatever I wanted to do, being happy every day, and living my best life as I saw fit. So I experimented. As a human being, I sought out to fuel my own dopamine with what our old young habits might think, hey, this is what you want to do, isn't it? So I drank alcohol, I smoked weed, I turned up my music loud, and I danced. I would mind jam with myself in these altered states, give myself the permission and the pleasure of, quote, doing what I want when I want. And it's just the scientist about me. So the experiment shall continue. If you'd never had to work even your whole life to survive or to provide yourself with shelter and food, what would you do? What would you honestly do with your time if these things were just naturally provided for you in this weird utopian world? Well, I experimented with this whole quarantine COVID time. And to be honest, it was fucking great. It was a thrilling experience. You know, some of you might be concerned and question, well, was I truly happy? I surely was. Although not feeling the human touch from another person or to cuddle at night or kind of just feel this unconditional love from somebody was definitely an interesting part of the experiment. And a test, honestly, I don't wish to care to try again. Naturally, with quarantine and COVID, most people were keeping their distance from others nonetheless. So it was definitely happenstance to what was occurring. But I knew it wouldn't just last as long or forever. And so I basked within this experiment. So during my experiment here, my vacation period, as I would say, came and went. So the reflective part of it all was, well, we don't live in this utopian world where we have these luxuries just to live and let live to some extent. At least for myself, it just naturally wasn't sustainable. Throughout this whole experiment, besides living the best time of my life, eventually it just wasn't sustainable. You know, I gained weight. I became what I would say slow and sluggish, but I still had a fucking smile on my face. I told people I was living the best days of my life because I really was. But the reality of it, you can kind of see it was taking a certain toll. I was feeling sluggish, less motivated to do whatever I really wanted to. Well, actually, I was doing what I wanted to do, but it was more like the things you think you needed to do. I'm like, well, no, I need to go to the gym. I need to eat right. I need to do this and that for myself. But during this vacation period, I was basking in the freedom, so to say. And it was nice. But I knew at any moment when I truly wanted to, I could test out of the waters on the other side of the river. Thus, bringing me to today's podcast, Chapter 2. And so, within a month's time, after all this 5 months of living it up, so to say, I quit everything and started going to the gym twice a day. And currently, to this day, I've lost 15 pounds and I feel great and energetic, youthful, and I'm still happy and I still have a smile on my face. And so now we have to test the waters on the other side and thus creating like, well, if that's that, let me try the other side of the river now and see what that brings. And well, honestly, it felt great. It felt great to feel that energetic, to feel this youthful energy and motivated, and your thoughts and your brain feels like it's working on 100 miles per hour because, well, you're not, you don't have substances to kind of drain out the world or something like that. You get to see reality, at least in a new light and a different perspective. And so I was testing that hypothesis out. At the end of the day, the human mind is such a beautiful thing. And as the rapper Hoppin would say, your brain is a fucking powerhouse. And he's right. And so your sustainability and your life on the end of the day is just truly up to you. But from my own experiment and my perspective, I now know what both worlds in my book feel like. And I also get to choose how I feel and what I do with my time, as so do you. So, for my own self reflective today, I feel fucking great. I feel amazing. I go to the gym twice a day. I drink tons of water. I get good sleep at night. I'm working a lot and I feel accomplished. I feel achieved. And so putting these two battles of the minds together, from the altered state to what you would call the sober mindset, it's very interesting playing around those two ideas. I'm still having my dance breaks and I still have love for all and still the smile on my face. And honestly, I love each day. And especially with the sober mindset, it's you feel grateful for a lot of things, as opposed to when you have these dopamine kicks that are coming from substances, because it's like a cheat code, but you kind of have to keep fueling that. And then, especially when you quit, you need to like sustain it for something else. And so, what was easy for me to do that transition was the gym life. Quit everything, and the gym brought that to me. It's kind of like when people say when you run a lot, you get the runner's high. And it's so true, because you do get a fucking high from running, and it feels great. It feels blissful. And so, this is the current state I'm still basking in, and it feels great. And at some point, it's like this breath of life has turned into a tidal wave. And now, rather than just being in this wave and seeing the wave, I'm actually on top of the wave, and I'm fucking surfboarding on top of it at a higher elevation for myself and by myself. And for something like that, it just feels amazing. And I'm sure in some way you can kind of resonate with something along those lines. And if you do, then it is chapter 2 right now, baby. So let's fucking go. This new breath of life, the new motivation, new opportunities. These doors are opening up for all of us. So I'd say, let's ride this wave, but at a higher elevation. Control the surfboard where you want to go, and get on the surfboard first and foremost. It's such a beautiful thing. When you give yourself the chance, the opportunity, do your own experiments as you should. The human life, we're still confused about, well, what the fuck is all this? Who am I really? You ever just look at your hand and be like, what the fuck is all of this? And a good perspective is to think about dreams. You know, we truly have no clue what all this is about. So I'd like to say, have fun with your life. You know, truly, in my mind, there's no right and there's no wrong. I'm experimenting in my own world, and I'm doing what's happy for myself. And at any given time, I can learn, I can grow, and I can overstand, not understand anymore. Let's get over the bridge. I overstand now, you know, and it's a never ending experiment. I do think life is a game that should be played and have fun with. I love having a child heart. It's so beautiful, and it's so, I have so much ease to care for others, just because I believe we're self reflective of ourselves and those around us. You know, we ought to have all these experiments and all mostly the same emotions that we can adapt to and understand and overstand within each other. So hopefully you've gotten something within this that you can also resonate yourself. And it's never the end. You're not alone. And I truly thank you for tuning in with this. I want to say, I do love you all, and I believe in you. Keep that child heart close to you. Live and let live. There's no time for judgment, not even with yourself. Just see everything as an experiment. Be your own scientist and your own fucking world, because you are the one that wakes up and takes the breath of life for yourself. Bask in that greatness is such a beautiful thing. And what also helps me in the morning to start my day off just fantastic is listen to the best music that makes you feel good, that just makes you want to dance. Life is one beautiful chaos. Dance within that shit like, because you got this. Trust me. You fucking got this. And honestly, as soon as this moment you take control of your own life with greatness and happiness, it just feels fucking amazing and that much better than anything else before. And wherever you are in the world, I just want to let you know that your happiness is a choice, something you already know at the end of the day, but now you have to believe it, see it, and do what makes your heart sing and start creating your own chapter two. If need be, grab a new fucking book, and that's okay. You are the dictator of your own life. We as human beings have so much power within us. You just have to believe in it and take charge. You got this. I believe in you. With love and always, I'm Loriana Mercado. I want to thank you all for tuning in today. Please, if you have the time, leave a like, a comment, and hit that share button. Free hugs for life if you do. Seriously, though. Free motherfucking giant bear hugs. McLovin hugs for life. I love you. Stay blessed. Peace, love, and at the end of the day, create your bliss. Until the next time, my beautiful peoples, I'm out. Peace.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the iSelfReflect podcast. Subscribe and tune in next time to continue your journey to self-love, growth, and reflection. Make sure you follow us on all social channels at iSelfReflect and check out our shop at iSelfReflect.com. That's iSelfReflect.com. Until next time, keep spreading the love.